Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Pearl's Politics. It is showtime. Hi, Sandra. You're going to end up getting your badge pretty soon, girl. All right, keep working on that badge. Anyway, y'all, it is time for us to talk about what's going on in the world. And a lot of it's going on. But our main topic tonight is why can't we talk about what's going on in the world? Everywhere we go and on every platform, and just people don't want us to speak what's on our mind, and that is disturbing. Let's bring in the rest of the team so we can get started here. We got the heartbeat of the South, and my every heartbeat, my son, Tim Harrington. Hey, Tim, how are you
Hey, Mom,
doing?
how's everybody doing tonight?
I'm still happy. Yay!
All right, all right.
Feeling good. All right, y'all. I don't know what Ziggy is, but we got the girl here herself, Kathy CARLSON.
Hey,
Hey,
Kathy.
Hi, how you doing?
All
Just
right.
getting myself centered here.
yes.
I don't think James. I don't think James is coming. I think he said that last night.
Oh, did he?
So
Okay, I
he's.
missed
I
the
think he's.
notes. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I missed that. Well, we
Mhm.
won't be long because we're gonna have a longer show tomorrow night, and so we won't be holding anybody long. They can catch us on the replay, but we do want to talk about
Right.
our First Amendment right, freedom of speech. Gosh, ever since this war has happened, people have lost their jobs. Students have been suspended from colleges for protesting, for humanitarian aid to assist people who are suffering from the wages of war. And it is really unethical to me how supposedly the freest country in the whole wide world wants to stop people from having empathy or sympathy for another human being that's suffering, whether it be an enemy or a friend. That's not what this country is supposed to be about. You know, in war, we all still know that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of casualties, but it should not be forbidden for us to have empathy or sympathy for the casualties, because in a war, there's casualties on both sides. But what's happening currently in the news, and I'm following it every single day, so I'm speaking from what I have seen and heard with my own eyes and ears. This is not a he say, she say. I have seen the stories of people now who have lost their job, they got fired. They even censored one of our politicians in Congress just because she made a statement to defend her people. She's a Palestinian, the only Palestinian that we have uh, in Congress. And of course, if she's Palestinian, she is going to have empathy for her people. And she couldn't even speak about her empathy. They censored her. And what is this world coming to? Who in the world is behind this taking our free speech from us? Tim, any
Yes.
thoughts on that?
Well, I hate to be one to say it, but America is only free when you're going along with the agenda.
Ah, okay, I'll say that. You know what? That kind of puts it in perspective because that's exactly what I'm saying. If you're on the side of the government in whatever stance that they're taking on an issue, then you can speak. But if you're not on the side of whichever direction they're going,
Mhm.
then you are a problem for them. But is that constitutional, Kathy?
No, it's not. Let me just explain to people about the five main rights for that First
Okay.
Amendment. Well, freedom of religion, speech. But But what if a judge doesn't disclose something? I'm going to get into that later. Or a
Okay.
politician or something like that. Should they be exempt in certain cases? But press is the third one, assembly is the fourth one, and petition is the fifth one. Now they did add something with petition on the fifth portion. It says a redress of grievances regarding politically contentious matters. Well, we're having political contentious matters right now. So people
Right.
should, hey James,
Hey,
so
Jane.
people should pay attention. I think after over how long these have been, we need a reminder in this country what it's really about. And I think the
Yeah.
politicians have even forgotten it. Yes, that's my opinion.
Well, you know what? Your opinion is right on, spot on. And just to add to that, the politicians have not forgotten. It's just that they want to control the people. They're supposed to be serving us, but instead they want us serving them. So, James, tonight we're talking about who's behind taking our constitutional right away from us, the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. Who's behind it? And is it
Uh,
constitutional?
who do I think's behind that?
Sure.
Big tech.
Big tech. Okay. That's a different perspective. I like that. Okay. Tim,
Yes.
can you
Yep.
what
Mm-hmm.
Kathy got something
ahead,
on
Tim.
tech. No, go ahead, Kathy.
No, I was just going to say, in political campaigns and everything, lobbyists are made to rule, and money rules. So those two things rule. Pharmaceuticals too. All the majors have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not to jump off the subject or anything, but it's right there in the realm of it. There's a trial that's going on right now that's dealing with a rapper, and something was done that has never really been done before. They allowed his lyrics to be used against him. So it falls right in that whole realm of what we're talking about, the freedom of speech, right? But now, with the move that was made in this court session, it puts everybody in jeopardy, because if you allow one lyrics to be used against them, everybody else follows suit, and that's not the rule. And that's not the rule.
I totally agree with you. And the thing about it is they start out with a little bit, doing it a little bit, and then they increase and increase. And right now, since the war is going on, they have really clamped down. Um, the protesters, y'all probably seen nationwide. If you watch main media, you probably haven't seen it. But you got to go to these channels and stations that really show you both sides of the story, right? But there have been mass protests in London and in France. They have made it a misdemeanor crime. That we've had mass protests here in the United States, and people and college students who have participated in these protests have received backlash from their school. They've either been suspended or they've been taken out of their positions. This one particular young lady, it was talking from New York. I'm forgotten the university that she is attending, but she's in law school, and she held a position like president of some organization within the law school, and she made a post on social media, of course, about the plight of the Palestinians, and they boosted her out of that position. Said that she was supporting terrorism. So if you support the Palestinians, it seems the penalty is you're supporting terrorism. When the Palestinian people are not the terrorists. The Hamas, the government that rules the Palestinians, uh, are, are the ones that the United States has labeled as terrorists. Terrorists. So why are people being punished for expressing their ideas and opinions about the Palestinian people who are just civilians? You know, it's the same thing like when if our government doing like our government is supporting Israel, but everybody in this country is not happy about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, they've got a, what do you call it, double standard.
Yeah. Let me jump in there right there. I want to say, let's be clear. This is the agenda of the New World Order,
Mm.
right? This is part of it,
So
right?
what is the New World Order, and who is causing this New World Order? What do you mean? Give us a little bit more in-depth information about that.
Well, from what I know, it's a set group of high-ranking people that
Mm.
have come together, and
Mm-hmm.
it basically goes against uh, things of our nature, like the Constitution and things of that nature.
So it's a
Uh,
cult. A cult.
right, exactly, exactly, right. So when we
That's what it sounds like,
right, so when we ask the question, when we ask that question, who
Uh-huh.
is trying to take away our constitutional rights?
Uh-huh.
That's one uh, group or organization, I should say, that I know that is partaking in it. I should say,
Yeah, it's kind of like Gotham City. If
yeah.
you've ever watched Gotham, there was
Yeah.
the upper class society people.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed hidden out of the scenes.
Right.
They always worked behind the scenes to control Gotham and cause chaos,
Mm-hmm.
so that the more
Oh yeah.
chaos it
For
was seen.
nefarious,
Yeah,
nefarious reasons. Who
yeah,
knows? Who knows what they do? I've read about those kind of things where these politicians get treated and they get to these luxury locations and
yeah,
they create all kinds of deals,
yeah,
the
and
ones
so
the public don't know about.
yeah, and they
Yeah, they come
thrive.
from all over the world.
They thrive off.
Yeah, they come
They
from all
thrive
over the world.
and they thrive and get rich off of
Mhm.
chaos. So that's like what
Exactly.
cults
They
do.
make,
Right. Well, thanks,
yeah, they
Tim.
have
And
their
you
own agenda, their own plan.
and you say this
Yeah.
is going along with the New World Order.
Yeah.
Exactly how?
Well, it basically goes against everything that we stand for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you were saying, it's going backwards. Instead
Mm-hmm.
of them working for us, they want us to work for them. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the meat and potatoes of their agenda.
Yeah, because what I see in politics now is that the people have absolutely no say in a
Right.
decision-making process.
Right.
You know, it's like when Biden says, "Well, yes, the United States support Israel." Didn't nobody ask me.
Yeah.
aren't I the people?
Right.
Cathy, did anybody ask you? James, did anybody ask you?
No, it's basically an interior enslavement by the government to keep us under control. That's what
It's
it is.
it's an
Mhm.
apartheid, and the United States is supposed to be the freest country in the whole world. We're not supposed to be like Africa used to be in an apartheid, where they didn't have freedom of speech.
Mhm.
See what I'm saying? Now Africa is free
Exactly.
to have their freedom of speech, and now we're getting clamped down where we don't even have it anymore.
Right.
And when you take the word apartheid, it's spelled APAO. I'm going to put it on the screen so we can break this down. I was looking at this the other day,
Yeah.
and I was like, now when I look at this word, I actually see the meaning of it within
Yeah.
the word.
Uh-huh. It's self-explanatory.
Okay, now let me break it down here. I'm putting this on the screen.
Yeah, now
Okay.
I believe they're, purposely choosing the United States because we've always been a pillar of justice, and they are trying to take us, they've been doing this slowly but surely over
Mm-hmm.
time. We haven't noticed
Mm-hmm.
until it got to this point.
And
Right.
when you look at that
Yes. And
word,
now a lot of,
apartheid,
Mhm,
look at that. Apart meaning
mhm,
take apart the ID, the ID identification. Apart
mhm.
the
Wow, that's interesting.
ID. Isn't that amazing?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, that's
identification is
something.
who we
Words do
are.
have power.
Identification
Mhm.
is who we are. Take apart that, they'll
Well,
say.
they're doing it to disempower. They're doing it to disempower us, so they should change
Yeah.
the name
Yeah. And here's a
to
prime example.
empower.
It makes me wonder does the president gets away with what he gets away with, even being accused of crimes, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the president that was uh, what was impeached during Watergate, he was impeached based
Nixon.
on
Nixon.
a wiretap of a
Mm-hmm.
phone call that was going on with him. That really was
Mm-hmm.
the nail in the coffin. But
Mm-hmm.
if you look at it nowadays, look at how much scandal and chaos that our presidents are involved in, especially the
Mm-hmm.
one that's in there now.
A lot,
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
lot more. Yeah.
And and
Hmm.
the thing of it is that his numbers has gone really down. And what he's doing, and I listened to and watched with my own eyes and ears Anthony Blinken, the Secretary of State over there. This is his fourth trip to Israel, and he only goes to the colonized part of Israel. He hasn't visited Gaza at all.
No, he ain't going there.
The West Bank or the
No,
East
he
Bank. He
ain't.
hadn't visited there at all. Went to Tel Aviv,
Yeah.
and like that, meeting with the war cabinet and Netanyahu. But uh, he was saying, he was going backwards and forwards. How can you give? How can This is what he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing. But what he basically said is, we still support Israel to go back to the fighting after this ceasefire is done. But now here's the but: we still want to prevent casualties to innocent civilians and get humanitarian aid into the people that need it as much as we can and as soon as we can.
Well, I beg to differ on that because here's the thing: my facts tell me that over 6,000 children were killed in Gaza by
And
Israel.
that's just the ones on top of the rubble. They don't know how many up under the rubble,
Right.
all of that destruction, as
Right.
well as adults.
Right.
And so you telling me, okay, so what you're telling me, what I got from Blinken, and this is to say, he said that he voices the opinion of the president. So what the two of them are telling me is this: so you're gonna give me a little piece of bread and a half a cup of water, and then you're gonna bomb me again. What
It's
for what?
insane.
For what?
It's insane.
Yeah, the ceasefire ends at
I
7
mean, what?
a.m. in the morning.
For what? I mean, what good has your humanitarian done me? That little half a piece of bread that I had, the only thing I had in 7 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and this cup of water, and then I'm not gonna get any more because you're gonna bomb me and kill me. What what
Mm-hmm.
what what kind of standard is that? Does that make
Very
sense?
low standards.
It's dumb.
Very low.
It's stupid.
As you can go.
Now,
Yeah, basically.
the good news is that a lot of countries, 120 other countries, have denounced what Israel have done, and even the United Nations is calling it what that they have done, committed many international war crimes along with Hamas when they did the attack in the first place.
Right.
So that's only fair. But what I look at is the Jewish religion, and Netanyahu is supposed to be Jewish. They only go by the Old Testament. I think I mentioned that before. They don't believe in the New Testament and Jesus Christ coming and all. They just go by the God in the Old Testament. Now, in the Old Testament is where it does say an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. All right. However, okay, this is my position. Yes, Hamas was wrong. If they killed 1,200 of your people, then if you're going to do an eye for an eye, then you should have killed only 1,200 of Hamas's people. But instead, you didn't do eye for eye. This is what you say you believe in, an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. So you go and you kill 12,000. You kill 100 times the eye. You know, they took one of your eyes out. You took both of theirs out. So that's hypocritical to me. In the first place, if you want to look at it from a religious side. Now, why the politicians can't see that? Because that was the casualty loss is completely and insanely disproportionate. Let's take a break. And when we come back, Cathy gonna go deeper into our constitutional right, okay?
Okay.
She said she had more to share with us. All right, we'll be back. And we're going to take a long break because what I'm going to do is I'm going to play JoJo Smith's song. I posted it today and I love it. And I put it on TikTok and I got a 220 something views on it. So let's play JoJo.
Imagine if the world was free of violence, hatred, fear, and greed. Imagine if our hearts were light and peace reigned in this world tonight. There'd be love and kindness too, and not just for a chosen few, but for everyone, everyone passing through. Sure, the gods would all be pleased and bless us in this sweet release. No more pain and poverty, no more bloody war and grief. Peace, won't you come on in? Peace, come on in? Peace, won't you come on in? Speaking live as one, I believe in my reoccurring dream. Love replaces hateful deeds. And who's to say this cannot be? Hey, peace, won't you come on in? Peace, won't you come on in? Peace, won't you come on in? Now imagine if we understood the way of love, if we just could do everything for the good. Well, then peace would rule the world. Since time began, there has been a need for love to rise up and succeed, and for peace, peace to reign upon this war-torn earth. And since time began, man's one great wish is to live in peace. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Woo, 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 woo. Come on in. Won't you come on in? Peace. Won't you come on in? I'm sure of it. Yeah. Come on. Imagine if we understood the way of love. Won't you come on in? Peace. Won't you come on in? Peace. Won't you come on
That was so beautiful. And Kathy, um,
Yeah.
I have some news. I may have found a promoter here. You and I and Helmet will need to get on to a three-way um, video call, maybe like on Messenger, because
Oh, sure. That'd be fun.
he was saying possibly let's try for the fall of next year, and she wants to know
Mhm.
what is the budget and what kind of budget would we have. And I told her he hadn't even gotten that far. It was just an idea that I had to bring her here to the Orpheum, but she says that she might could do it because she
Oh, nice.
yeah. And so I sent her the 3 videos that we played on the show today. And so as soon as I hear back from her, she won't give us an answer, of course, until we could probably give her an estimate of what the budget will be, which probably won't be until sometime next year, because I told her I'm pretty sure that y'all, Helmet has some sponsors over there in Europe, and we would have to find some sponsors here, to make up
Okay.
the budget. So,
Sure.
but that's just a
Mhm.
tidbit of good
That's
news.
exciting. That's great news.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so you're on, Kathy.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
spotlight you.
basically, oh, thank you. Well, basically, we are so much more different than, other countries because, we're all divided up here. But,
Yeah.
that's the problem. I really think that is a major problem. Uh-oh, there's a logo on my face. But that's a major problem. That was good. I felt like Jack in the Box.
That
There
Lord.
you
Jack
go.
in the Box for a moment.
There you go.
I used to like that one.
Oh, that was funny.
Okay, so basically, I think because the way the government is run in Washington D.C., which is
Mhm.
our main capital,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
what can I
that's
say? I mean,
great.
if judges are unethical, such as in
Mhm.
the case of Clarence Thomas, which
Mhm.
he's still in, right?
Yeah,
Clarence Thomas, he's
yeah.
still
Yep.
in, and his
Yep.
wife. People were paying for his wedding. They were
I,
paying for his RV.
I know.
Loans that he didn't have to pay back. I mean, what else are these politicians and judges doing?
A
I
whole
mean,
lot they're not
seriously,
supposed to be doing. Yeah. Yep.
we
You're
got to
right.
look individually. We got to get all these corrupt people out of there. I
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
care if it embarrasses anyone. When someone's unethical, they're unethical. How can they be a judge? Doesn't that mean our amendment rights are all violated when the
Yeah.
politicians and the judges are unethical? I mean,
That's right.
did we write all of this to be unethical or ethical? I mean, this is a pretty logical thing, but
You're
I
right.
can say that, when I read, this was just an example. The Trump gag order was reinstated in the New York civil fraud case today, right? This is
Wow.
just an example. Not only are the judges corrupt, but the judges' wives are partial too, because I'll explain. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
So they said the one sentence decision came 2 weeks after another individual appellate judge put a gag order on hold, because they did put a gag order on hold for Trump, right? So,
Mhm.
so how can they keep going back and forth, issuing gag orders, putting them on hold, depending on the state, depending on the judge? Give me a break, you guys. You're spending us taxpayers' money. I mean, give
Yep.
us a break.
Yep.
To jerk things around, because, and then not only that, but Trump posted today that the judge's wife was saying slanderous things against Trump, and had some kind of poster or something, or her doing something. So
Really?
you're involving. So we're allowing spouses to get involved. We're allowing them to get
That's a
involved with their
problem.
corrupt,
And that's the
huh?
thing.
Yeah.
I said that's a problem, and I think that's the whole problem with Joe taking this stance about giving Israel a green light. It's coming from Jill. It's coming from
Yeah.
Jill, his
Mhm,
wife, because she's the one
mhm,
that tells him exactly what to do. You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
Because
Right. I know.
she and Netanyahu's wife are friends. And she is the one that's telling
Mhm,
him what to do when he is disregarding all possibilities that we his decision to greenlight them is causing the United States to lose countries who are, I should say, were our allies, because some of those,
mhm,
most of those 120 countries that are against this are our allies. So
mhm,
if they're against this war, that means that they're not going to support us. Okay. And
mhm,
surprisingly enough, what really what really makes me know that it's wrong is that China and Russia and Korea, not North Korea, because they're not even in it, but China and Russia and Spain, and it was another major country. They are our allies. Well, not Russia's not our allies, but they are not really our allies. So that's what I'm trying to say. But these are countries that are really not our allies. But the point is that they're saying it's wrong that The United States should not be funding them with more weapons, and they should not have given Israel a green light to slaughter all these people. Now,
Yeah.
if Putin says it's wrong, you know it's got to be wrong, because
Right.
that's the last person on
Right.
earth that you would expect to say that.
Right. And I think just going piggybacking off of what you said, I think that Joe is discombobulated, confused, and he's doing exactly what
He's
you
just
said
a
at the
shell. He's
at
just
the end at the end of the night. He's asking Jill what should he do,
no, he's
and
not asking him nothing. She's telling him what to do. He's
well,
just
okay,
walking. He's a walking, trippy toe shell of a person. He's
right,
got
right, and she,
Alzheimer's and
He's a
can
puppet.
yeah,
barely do a sentence on his own.
yeah, and like I say, we all see that his health is failing and whatnot. It's unfortunate. And he's well, like you said, she's telling him, she's guiding him, and telling him which stands to take.
Mm-hmm.
And the people are not even considered in
Mm-mm.
that, because like you said, and it goes back to what Cathy said, it's a lot of backroom deals made where all these politicians and judges are corrupt. I said scrap the whole bunch and then start from scratch.
Well, you can't scrap them, because
Yeah.
judges, for instance, have their seats for life. Nothing can get rid of them. And then as far as
Oh, we gotta
Jill,
change it.
well, as far as
Yeah, we gotta
Jill
change
is,
it.
as far as Jill is concerned, naturally she gonna tell Joe to support them, because they got $4 million from the entire youth. So she benefited from that money, and he and her and
Yeah,
his
I can
wife.
say
Go
right.
ahead.
They say that behind every great man, there's a good woman. But what happens if a great man is corrupted by a bad woman, and then the guy can't get out of it? He's married to her.
Well, I don't think that Joe Biden was.
Partiality.
I don't think Joe Biden was ever a great man. I'm just gonna be
I'm
perfectly
not talking
honest.
about that specific case, but I'm just saying.
I know you're talking about the
I'm not saying that specific case, but there have been probably a lot of women who, just like men mislead women. It works both ways,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It works both
he
ways.
doesn't have a spine anymore.
He never had one.
Mm-hmm.
He had a piece of one at some point.
No, he didn't have a piece of one, because he's always gone any way the wind blow that benefited Joe. Any way
Maybe
the
when he
wind
was a
blow
baby.
any way the wind blow that benefited Joe. That's the kind of span he has. Okay.
Well, if we put it that way, he's not alone, because you got a lot of politicians that
A
blow
lot
their
of them like that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, 80% of them are like that. You
right.
see what I'm saying?
Here's the
But
problem.
here's the downfall of him making this wrong decision. I definitely want to get back to that, because I have listened to the political leaders and the military leaders of Hamas talk too, as well as the Qatar, which is the emirs and the princes, Arab princes, and their coalition, and the Arab political Qatar is the one that's doing the mediation between Israel and Hamas, because the United States really can't negotiate with Hamas, and Israel can't negotiate with Hamas. The only the only entity that can negotiate is the Arab nation. And when you got the Arab nation, this includes Iran. And the Arab leader of Qatar said that the war needs to come to an end, because starting the fighting again will cause only for it to spread regionally and cause more loss of life. What does that mean? That means that all of the Arab nations, Syria, Iran, Egypt, all of them would get involved in defending themselves or fighting the United States. You see what I'm saying? And so Jill don't know nothing about no politics and how it works. She just telling Joe what to do, and he's doing it when he know how it works. Because when you upset the Arab nation, you already know Iran hates the United States. But you already know too that Iran supports Hamas. So, how you gonna put yourself in the middle like that? He don't care about us. You see what I'm saying? Because when the war comes, it's gonna come against the whole country, not just Joe Biden in jail. You see what I'm coming? Where I'm
Yeah.
coming,
Mhm.
and that's the saddest part about it all, to me, because when you don't think about the consequences of your decision, you're supposed to you take an oath to protect the people of the United States, to serve the people of the United States. This is not serving and protecting the people of the United States when you are putting us and using us as pawns to cause a regional war just because you want to support your friend. When your friend is wrong as two left shoes, you know, because they keep saying this is what the United States position is. This is what Canada's position is. And this is what Germany's position is that Israel has a right to defend itself. Okay, well, to a certain extent, Israel had a right to defend itself against the attack when it was happening, but they didn't, you know. So if you did not defend yourself against the attack when it was happening, that's too bad. That's just on you. You don't cause a whole war to destroy a whole culture of people just because you missed your shot.
Yeah. That's also look. Let's think about this. Going back to the Jill situation, right? The
Mm.
only other person that has a president's ear more than Jill would be his chief of staff.
And who is that?
I have no idea.
Kirby. This John Kirby.
There lies another problem.
Yeah, because he don't think for himself. He's just doing what Joe and Jill tell him to do.
There you go.
Okay, but here's the fun. I can see why Germany takes the position that it takes. Germany feels guilty. Their governments, no matter who the prime minister has been, down through the centuries, I mean decades since the Holocaust, they have felt guilty, and they owe a responsibility to the Jews, right? So I can understand their position of being on the side of the Jews. But Canada, come on now. I don't understand. Now, Canada is the closest to the United States. So I guess the only thing I can see is I guess that's the reason why they're trying to they're going, just saying that they're sticking with the United States. But it's just too many countries that are not
Well,
for this.
I could say I listened to Julie Green, who had a special. She's one of those on YouTube that talks about everything. And she had a minister from Canada who was treated so horribly. He didn't have any freedom of speech whatsoever. He was thrown into jail, tortured, just for having peaceful rallies. So they're
Yeah,
having the same thing happen to them
yeah.
that's
This
happening to us.
this colonization,
Yeah.
it's like Tim say they want to take us back 400 years to colonize people again. That's
Yeah.
dumb, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
this, if this is part of a new world order, there's nothing new about it, Tim.
Yeah, it's nothing new
It
under the
should be
sun.
old world order because that's what they're taking us back to. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we the people are helpless because
Yeah.
they're taking away our
Mm-hmm.
voice. They're even taking away our voice. They don't want
Well,
us to protest. They don't want us to march. But people are still doing it, thank goodness. By the
I
hundred.
heard it was so bad that, yeah, on Julie Green, I heard it so bad there that I think he was a Slavic minister who'd already had a lot of tyranny against him just from his country,
Mhm.
being limited to freedom of speech, thinking he could go to Canada and he would be able to feed the hungry. But they
Yeah.
didn't even allow him to feed the hungry. They arrested him while he was
Yeah.
feeding the hungry. I am worried that the United States is going to get that way. I
Well,
mean, I really seriously think it's happening in Canada. It could happen here. Yeah.
politically,
Mm-hmm.
the half of the people, if not more than half of the people, don't like Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, I heard that.
and about half of the
Mm-hmm.
people in Israel don't like Netanyahu because they was about to vote him out before this happened. And
Mm-hmm.
then here you got Joe. He's in the same predicament. Half of the United States don't like him and don't want him.
Mm-hmm.
So you got these three major countries, Canada, Israel, and the United States, who had political issues about their rulers, their presidents or their prime ministers, even before this happened. And so when a war occurs, when war breaks out, it's pretty hard to get rid of your president, your prime ministers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're in a time of war. So
Yeah.
this is why Netanyahu wants a war. That's why
Right.
he declared
Well,
war.
the one, not to cut you short. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm done.
I was just going to say one of the main things that we the people have on our side is the internet. They can
Yeah,
only lie to the major news networks. They
yeah,
can't hide it anymore, and they can't lie to us anymore because
yeah.
the internet is here, and
But
they
see,
can't control it.
that's why they're taking people off the platforms when they make a post. That's not that the side for Israel don't like.
Hmm.
They're banning people, taking
Hmm.
them off, so try to shut down their voice. You say, and a lot of people, because of their posters, like I'm saying now, have lost their jobs. That's their livelihood. Their job is their livelihood to feed their families just for making a post.
Yeah,
Come on now, really,
yeah,
you know. So I just don't understand. Well, I do understand it, but what I can say is I
It's
just
kind of like they're trying to they're whipping us into shape for our free speech.
I
They're
just really
putting
don't.
fear factors in.
I just really don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't really like it, but I'm gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
something. Tell you something. One thing we still have on our side for as the people is karma.
yeah,
CARMA.
yeah. I agree.
Okay, no politician beat that,
Yeah,
no matter what they do. I promise you,
Mm-mm.
what goes around comes around. And their time will come. And then they're gonna be looking stupid. But what difference will it make? It won't make a bit of difference to me because I know that they had sense enough to make the right decision when they when they chose not to have made
right.
the right decision. So
And
now
not only that, when the karma does come, we'll have a ringside seat because it's going to be on the internet.
first, it's going to be on the TV, on the news, because
Right.
see, but when Israel gets charged with the war crimes, and that time is going to come.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if the war spreads regionally and Iran ends up attacking the U.S. or whatever, and we fight for 10 years, 5 years, or whatever. But when it does end, they're going to answer for the war crimes.
Yeah.
And because you're supporting a country who has committed war crimes, you are an accessory. So the United States is going to get charged with committing war crimes against a culture of people. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say I didn't want to be in politics. I like politics, love it. But our politician I want to be, never.
Me neither.
I know. I agree.
Nah, you can take that job.
And shove it.
Yep.
But we love talking about them though.
Oh yeah.
Well, as Patriots, got to stick together. That's the only way we're going to win.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And you know what? Donald is still in the lead no matter what they do to him.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Donald is still in the lead no matter what they can do to him.
We
And
can't get him in there fast enough.
That's got to be validation. But I'm going to tell you something about Donald now. When it comes to Israel, he supports them too. But now but let him tell you, he in the last 7 weeks, he's gone back and forth.
Yeah.
Because when he first started, he said Hamas was smart because they sneaked in on Israel, and Israel didn't tell you what he prepared, and Hamas got him. So he got blasted from everywhere. Yeah. Every news channel, every newspaper,
and that just made his ratings go up.
It did. Every internet platform and blah, blah, blah. But last week he said that Israel has the right to defend themselves. But, and there was a but, the amount of human disaster was not necessary. Something like that. You know, so he's trying to slide back in there on Israel's side. But he and Netanyahu did not get along. They don't like each other. Now, I do like that fact, you know. But, yeah. So Donald kind of wishy-washy. But right now, he don't even need to be thinking about that because he has too much on his plate for himself.
Well, they were talking last week that Donald Trump had on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, had some godforsaken umpteen million followers.
Yeah.
And they can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, I know.
Is in charge.
Yeah, he's like 60% in the polls, 62%. He's not dropping. And Biden is like 28%.
And back on your earlier report, that's why he keeps going up and down.
And if a regional war breaks out in Iran and those Arabs start coming after us, Russia is on the side of Hamas. So Russia is going to be right with the Arabs because, the United States supporting Ukraine and not Russia. And so Russia is saying that Israel is wrong. So if the Arabs ask Russia to help them,
they're going to
what do you
help.
think Putin going to do?
Yeah,
He's going to help them. That's his opportunity because, he don't like the United States. He don't like none of the presidents of the United States, period. He's just as bad as Iran when it comes to the United States. So, that's why I say it is so stupid that Tippy Toes is not thinking past what could happen. Trippy Toe, you see him how he be walking on that grass when he be going in that plane. Like he gonna trip any minute, which he will.
Like he did with the sandbag.
Yeah, it's sad,
Maybe he's just got a big toe. They got to file that toe down.
Yeah, nobody respects him. He's like the kid that get pushed around on the playground. Because one thing about it, we know one thing for sure and two things for certain. If Donald was in office, this show would not be going on. Not the way it's going on.
That's for sure. Not. It would not be happening, period. And
that's the reason I said in the beginning that big tech is
Yeah.
one of our worst enemies.
Yeah.
Is because they're the one that's running the show with
Yeah.
their money.
Mhm. And one last thing, and then I'm gonna let us go. Russia had their own private negotiation with Hamas yesterday to get two of their dual citizens released. They had a Russian um, citizenship and a some other kind of
Palestinian.
um, wasn't Palestinian
Okay.
because this was the Hamas captives, two
Okay.
ladies, but they had Russian citizenship too.
Mm.
And Russia, Putin had a private negotiation with Hamas to release those two women. Yesterday, they was released this morning.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you the connection
Oh yeah.
and the friendship between Hamas and Russia, because they have not released not one American yet. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And it boils down to respect and
No,
honor.
I take that back.
Research.
I take that back. They released one, a girl that was 14 years old, something like that. But that's all. Only one. They've only released one American, and so this is what the people back here in the United States is asking. Now they're getting disgruntled and losing faith in Tippitoe Joe because they have released 19, well, more than that.
It was 17 released. Talking about the nationals.
Thailand.
Talent. Yeah.
20. They have released 29 ties.
Yeah.
They have released some Israelites. They have released, I think, one or two Germans. They released a whole bunch of people, but they've only released one American girl. See what I'm saying? And they are not going to release those Americans simply
No.
because Joe is providing the ammunition that killed their people.
They won't have their money coming, their ransom.
They Joe is sticking with Netanyahu. So why do they think that Hamas will release Americans? Why would they think that? That just show you how dumb they are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm providing weapons that will kill your people, but I want you to release my people. Oh no, it's not gonna go down like that.
Yeah.
You know, so if the war comes now, 60 hostages that Hamas had has already been killed in the bombardment from Israel, and they don't know who they are because they're under the rebels.
Yeah.
You know, could be some Americans.
Could
because six gun Netanyahu was just shooting bombs. He no way he was shooting. Didn't care. Just sending bombs. Just sending bombs. Just sending bombs. You know,
man.
Both of them just dumb, but evil. Don't forget that. That's very important, because when people get consumed with revenge and evil, then they become dumb. Not only do they become dumb, they become numb, because they only want to do what they want to do. They don't take anybody else's opinion into account. They don't care how much damage they cause. They're just driven to execute their own wishes, and that's what Netanyahu was doing. But anyway, the story goes on. But what the most interesting part to me was that the Qatar themselves, which is the Arab coalition and Hamas political leaders, say that they want the ceasefire and they want all of the Palestinian prisoners released. They have over 7,000 in there, and they're over in the West and East Bank. They still arresting. They shot an 8-year-old boy today and a 15-year-old.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shot the 15-year-old in the head and the 8-year-old in the back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just ruthless killing.
Yeah.
No conscience for human life.
Yeah.
That's wrong. You don't do that in no war. That's not fair war play.
No, that's a war crime.
You see, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
And so
that's the coward way.
And the coward way is just shooting bombs. They don't go in the tunnels. They're scared. They don't want to fight hand to hand, face to face.
Well, they know they'd lose.
Oh, exactly. So just drop the bombs everywhere. You got to get, and that's hopefully you getting you getting Hamas. But what they found out was they had not killed Hamas. They say, see, they're not attaining the accomplishments that Netanyahu promised Joey that he was going to attain, because he told Blinken and the United States that the Israeli army is in control of northern Gaza, because that's where they came from. They stormed all that and bombed all that. And however, when the hostages were released, guess where they were released from? Northern Gaza. That's where Hamas was. So they didn't get Hamas. You see, they have not captured not one Hamas soldier. So that's why I'm saying this is just stupid, and that's why you can see this is one man's evil pursuit, and that's Netanyahu. And he bringing Joey Toy right along with him. Joey Toy just playing the fool. He playing the role of a fool. You all remember that song? Everybody plays a fool. Yeah. Sometimes. Y'all remember that song?
Yeah, no exception to the rule.
No exception to the rule. Whoa, on that note, we're going to close. Tim, close the comments.
Oh, wow. Another great one with a lot of good information. Y'all be sure to watch the playback and be sure to tune in with us tomorrow. We got some guests. We got a guest coming, rather.
Yeah. And let Kathy say who that is after James give us his closing remark.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let James give his closing remark.
Real quick. Before I got on the show, I was watching the TV. And did you know 60 to 90% of our stuff to build these EVs comes from China, correct? And they had a person on the show, which was a dealership. And he said 90% of these cars that they build that are EVs, Americans don't want them, and they're still sitting on the car lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
They can't give them away.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. You're right. Okay, Kathy, about tomorrow night.
Okay. Well, we set this up. Thanks, James. You helped with that. And Chuck Tennant helped with that, too. But it's Denny Tedesco, and he's a producer with the Wrecking Crew. And also he's got, all the background, all the musicians and everything who've played from everyone from James Taylor, Carole King, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, I love James
Taylor. It's called Immediate Family. That's the name of the movie by Magnolia Film. So we're going to be sharing and interviewing and talking with Danny. So we set that up over a month ago. So that's exciting. I can't wait to do it.
Cool.
It is exciting. Yes. So listen,
I met him back in 2014 at the NAMM show.
Oh, okay.
And he had his first movie out.
Oh. So now the movie has not come to theaters yet. It hasn't.
I think the 12th.
It's going to be released on December 15th. The 15th, December 15th. So he's making us kind of like one of the exclusive people to interview him. So that's
Awesome.
really great.
All right.
He
Well,
actually did it as a favor to me, and because I like that. He's really good people.
Okay.
He's down to earth.
Uh-huh.
And now that I know that they wrote the soundtrack to our life, like Kathy was saying, all the songs we know and love. And his father was the leader of the gang. And the son, Denny, took over after. And don't forget, Glenn Campbell was part of this group.
Oh, really? Yeah,
which
I
is
remember
now
Glenn.
passed.
All right. Well, super.
Yeah.
So I know Kathy has the questions lined up, and we're going to find out a lot, and we'll have fun. And I'll be uploading the videos to the studio tomorrow, Kathy. So I'll have everything in check with the videos.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for
Thanks a
tuning
lot.
in. Thank y'all for sticking and staying, and thank y'all for watching us on the replay when in the next couple of days heading forward. And just remember that our phrase for our politics show is always remember this: free thought is a philosophy, not a policy. People should not be putting a policy on us having the freedom to speak, and that's what they're doing.
Real quick, Emily, tell us what you got from Facebook today. Your notice.
Oh yeah, Facebook gave me an top creator award.
Oh, okay. Congrats.
No,
Content.
fantastic. Cool.
Content. What did it say? I forgot. Let's see. I think I got a picture of what it said. I think I took a screenshot. Well, thank you, James, for mentioning that.
No problem. You got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, you did. Okay, it says, congratulations, Emily Pearls Kirk. You've earned a Rising Creator label. And they have put that by my profile. They put a label on my profile. And it says, what's the Rising Creator label? This label recognizes you for posting content that's original, receives strong audience engagement, and meets quality standards.
And we couldn't do without all these listeners.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's right. We can't do it without you all on this. Thank you. So it's really a goes to them and not me. Okay, then. So that's our time, everybody. Let's say good night until tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Family. Love yous.